light, what so proudly we hail, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose rush stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, bombs bursting in air, came proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You'll remain standing. Rotarian Andy Powell will now bring our invocation.
Please pray with me. Dear God, we recognize you as the original and great engineer of the heavens and the earth. We praise you for the grand design of the universe, from the most minute inner workings of subatomic particles to the immensity of colorful nebulae of distant galaxies, and down to the rhythm of our very own hearts. You took elements that were formed in the crucibles of stars over billions of years and launched those elements forth in great supernova. And those same elements you wove together to create the materials that form each and every one of us in this room today, who are your children on earth. We are each of us your own creations, designed in your image, and you knew and loved even before we were born. We ask for your guidance, and for humility, and for wisdom in all that we do today. Please inspire each of us individually and jointly to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. In your holy name, we pray. Amen. We're going to recognize some visitors today. If you can, hear your name. Recognize you jointly. Robert Hartman. Robert Brown. Hannah Holland. Candace Menning. Yes, Kathleen Sugar. Dominic Alice. Miss Result. Jessica Curtis Brown. Margaret Ferguson, who is the Assistant District Governor of District 1587, is here today. And then Jimmy Schwartz, guest of Tyler Moore.
And now we'll have Chairman of the Student Guest Committee, Lori McWhorter, to introduce our students from University High School.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my birthday, isn't it? I'm one of these. Last week I was wearing coats. All right, on Saturday. But I have the privilege of introducing two wonderful students from University High School. I want to, first of all, introduce who is here today with them. We have Miss LaRonda Clark. She is the counselor at University High. We also have Mr. Adams, and he is a cohort principal at University High School. Mr. Adams and I go back a long way. I'm not going to tell him how many years. I might show your age, but maybe not mine, no. And then we have Lisa Saxenian, and she is, I don't know what your role is. What is it?
Director of CCD for this
sorry. She's the director of CTE for the district of Waco ISD. And then we have Sergeant, sorry. I have Sergeant Marcus Hayner, who is with the ROTC. And they are here to be with our guests today from the university. The first student I want to introduce you is Skylar Goodman. And Skylar, unfortunately her mom and dad were not able to be here today, but she has one representation from the University High School. Some of her school activities is the class president for 23-24, the National Honor Society, CTE Business Ambassador, President of Future Business Leaders of America, a Camp Intervention Leader, NCC Phi Theta Kappa, and a VITA Tax Program participant. At this point, I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about her future plans and what she plans on doing.
Hello. So I'm Skylar Goodman. I plan to pursue a bachelor's degree at Blaze at Texas A&M University in the fall. And it'll be in marketing.
And now I have the privilege of introducing to you Andre Villa. His mother and dad, unfortunately, was unable to be here as well. They're wonderful representatives from the University High School. Some of his school activities, he's in the JROTC. He's an academic achiever and a superintendent scholar. Some of his community activities are an ROTC community volunteer. He's got a long list of things here that he does. And he's got several awards. He's got the American Legion Scholastic Excellence Award, a National Sojourners Award, an Advanced Placement Scholar Award, the National Hispanic American Heritage Recognition Award, and the National AP Scholar with Distinction. Let's give a round of applause. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what he wants to do with his future.
Hello everyone, my name is Andres Cuevan, and I plan to hopefully attend Rice University once I graduate from high school and pursue a degree in mechanical engineering.
Inspirations for our future leaders. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. And congratulations to our students today. Next up, we have Past President Mike Stone with our service project.
All right, who knows what the original motto was for Rotary? No, that's what everybody thinks. That was second. What was the original motto? It was one profits most who serves best. That was 1911. 1950, they added service above himself. And in 1989, we switched to only the service above himself. So a little trivia for you. I had to look it up on the internet right before I got here. So we have an opportunity to serve our community. I'm going to mention one that's coming up quick and another one that's coming in the next month. But Sound the Alarm is a program put on the American Red Cross, and it's helping install smoke alarms. So it is March 16th. They have a morning shift and they have an afternoon shift. If you're interested in doing some of that activity, this is not cold calling, knocking on doors. These are people that have already asked for some help. So we can help install smoke detectors. So if that is interest you, come see me, email me, however you want to contact me. I'd love to try and help with that. The next one is in April. It's called Spring Into Action in North Waco. It's a cleanup activity for folks that need help cleaning up their yard or around the outside of their house. There's a bunch of neighbors from North Waco that want to organize that. We pulled off one in South Waco last in the fall, and we're going to do one in North Waco this year. And lastly, this is a plug for myself. If you are a former student of Sanger Avenue Elementary School, please let me know. I would love to
a few questions about the history of the school. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Next up, we have some visitors from our sister club, Lake Brazos Rotary. They have a fundraising coming up, and they're going to give us a quick commercial. I think Anna Holland and Stacy are here today.
First of all, I need to apologize to Stacy. I didn't not have a reason she's not. Lake Brazos Rotary is having Saturday, March 23rd, in Town. It's at the Diamondbacks. It's a World War dinner with Ron Perry. We're going to have live music, tons of wonderful awesome gifts, including a 7-day giveaway to the Environment. So, and then when you attend, your dollars will go to the Rotary Youth Camp Awards, the Rotary Youth Leadership Awards. There we go. The Perfect Attendance Project, where you can buy away your attendance, and also for the 100 basic course food service to children, which is one of my most rewarding. There's times that we will bag as many as 300 bags at a time to give children. Where they don't have food to eat. Once again, on March 23rd, love to have you. It's going to be a good time for a great cause, and you can do whatever you do to have this project.
Thank you. I can tell you, we have attended, and it is a marvelous program and a lot of fun. And it's good to be with Rotarians on a festive evening like that. Has Valerie arrived yet? Valerie, do you want to come up and talk about the Rotaract Club? She hasn't arrived yet. Okay. We'll have her up. She has done an amazing job with putting together that Rotaract Club at Baylor, and we certainly want to continue to support her. But I hope she'll make it today. We have one more table to sponsor for the Youth Citizenship Luncheon on March the 25th. So if you haven't stepped up to sponsor one of the tables, we have a QR code where you can jump in and do that, and we'd love to see all 21 tables sponsored. Remember, this luncheon is for the 21 nominees throughout the high schools in Clinton County, whether they're private, public, charter, etc. And we'll give out $12,000 in scholarships that day. So make sure you come to the luncheon, and it'd be nice if you sponsor one of the tables for the kids. We also are still looking for one more proud Rotarian that wants to serve on the board of directors. We only have one opening, and if we could have somebody step up and have an interest in that, please contact me. We'd like to get that position filled. The election will be in March, and your service will begin July 1st. So you've got a window to think about what you did when you volunteered. So with that, I'm going to introduce Susan Ants, who is our Rotary Treasurer, as well as an outstanding member of our club, and she's going to bring our program today.
Actually, I'm not going to bring the program today. I'm going to introduce Dr. Daniel Pack, who is Dean of Baylor's Engineering and Computer Science School, and he joined us this last June. He has a long history of serving at other universities. Most recently was at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga as Dean of their engineering, mechanical engineering, civil, as well as a number of other areas. And so I'm going to keep my introduction short because I think he is going to be very, very interesting for you all to meet today. So welcome, Dean Pack.
Good afternoon, and I'm delighted to be here. I was told that I have 2 hours. So
a brief introduction of who I am. I'll say 3 decisions over the years that made who I am today. Going back chronological order, when I was finishing my PhD degree at Purdue University, I was set to go to work for Motorola at Schaumburg, Illinois, as an engineer. It happened that there was an opening at the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs, where they were looking for assistant professor in electrical engineering. I put in my application just as a second thought. They called me, went, and I fell in love with the place. They loved me, and I was hired, and that made me an educator. The second decision has to do with not my decision, but my parents' decision. It was in 1979 when they made the decision to leave behind what's all familiar to them, language, culture, friends, and families from Seoul, Korea, to immigrate to the United States, making me an American citizen. I'm very proud of. Third and final decision was made even before that from my great-grandfather, circa, I would say, 1900. He was from an affluent family, and one day his house was robbed, and his parents died, his sister died, he alone survived, and his life goal was making sure that when he goes out, that he will venge for his family. I'm the person who did it. And when he became an adult, he looked all around the country. He looked at the city. Instead of finding his enemy, he found a missionary from the United States. And he became a believer. And he was one of the first Methodist pastors from Korea, the first generation of Methodist pastor. And he spent the rest of his life as a missionary in Manchuria, China. Making that decision for him helped all our families, with a few exceptions, become believers in Christ Jesus. So that's who I am, and I'm glad to be here at Baylor. It's been a baptism by fire, of course, learning about the culture, learning about the Waco as a place, long history. But I am beginning to realize more and more day to day that what a great example is to come to Baylor. It's a wonderful Christian mission-based university with purpose and mission, and most importantly, affecting people and transforming their lives for the future of this nation and for the world. So, with that quick introduction of myself, I'm really here to tell you about my school, our school, College of Engineering and Computer Science. I noticed that in the program it says School of Engineering, but my computer science faculty would go real mad at me if I don't mention it's a School of Engineering and Computer Science there as well. And so here is a picture of brick building. I think many of you might have visited. This is where most of the research, actual research, occurs. And it is about 60% finished, and we're still expanding our capacity. Some of the research work that I'm going to show you a little later. I want to start with the vision and mission of our school. This is a vision and mission with the help of our faculty last fall that we adopted this vision and mission. And our vision has to do with advancing in the premier school of engineering and computer science in the world in 2 areas. One is in research, and the other one is in education. How many of you knew that we had a School of Engineering and Computer Science at Baylor? Great. Not all of them know that we have a School of Engineering and Computer Science because our size happens to be fairly small. And that is understandable for a private university, but as a university that has a mission to make an impact worldwide, we can contribute
bigger. So I'll show you a little bit of our priorities. Our mission is in threefold. First one is the educating and training the technical leaders with the Christian views, Christian values for the world. That's our first one. The second one is making really worldwide impact for the research. That has to do with solving simple problems and making sure that those problem solutions will benefit our society. The third and final mission is for us to ensure that students succeed by making the right partnership and making sure that they use their talents as well as sweat equity service, scholarship service, to serve others. So, priorities for our school are threefold. One has to do with, we plan to grow our size. Currently, we have a little over 1,000 students. And we want to, our goal is in 5 years, double that number. It's an ambitious goal, and it is a stretch goal, but we're going to do that through offering new programs and making sure that our existing programs will grow. Currently, we have 8 different majors, undergraduate, and soon to be 10 majors. Since last June, we have created 3 new programs, 2 in undergraduate. One has to do with cybersecurity. It's long overdue, but it is an area that our students will benefit and the nation will benefit. The second area has to do with computer engineering, which is again a long overdue, but with the emerging of hardware and software and integrating them together, we believe that computer engineering is a good new program to start. And then third one is a PhD level in materials engineering and materials science in the program that we just started this spring. So we're excited about these new programs and we'll continue to grow with new programs in the future. The second priority has to do, again, research capacity. We have a wonderful faculty members. We are a little over 60 full-time faculty. But out of those 60 faculty members, 6 of them were rated just this past year as one of the most cited researchers worldwide, and their works are most cited. So Stanford University every year put a list of worldwide scholars, top 2% of scholars, whose work are referenced most times. And we're proud to say out of 60, 10% of our faculty members are on that list. What's more important for them having that recognition is that these are the people who will stand in front of students and help them to learn. So we're very happy with these faculty members. What I tell them is the following. It's a top 2% worldwide. I ask them, why can't you be on the top 1%? So we'll see how that works. And then third priority for us is student success through partnership with communities, such as this one, Rotary Club, as well as industry and government and others. So using those 3 priorities and our vision and mission, that's what we do each day. That's what everybody in our school does, both our faculty and staff and our students. So I thought I'd share with you just briefly the history of the school. The school is fairly young. 1995 is when the school was established. Certainly we offered a computer science degree program and engineering program before then, but it wasn't until 1995 that it became a school. And then from 1995, it was more of a teaching school. So we emphasized education, and it wasn't until late 2010 that we created graduate programs, PhD programs, and bring those to students to help our faculty members perform research. Fairly young, ambitious, but lots of room to grow, great potential, again, to make a huge difference in the world. So this one shows how big we are in terms of enrollment. So first chart shows you both graduate students and undergraduate students. We are around 1,050 students. But you see that gold bar getting bigger, and that's the graduate students. So graduate students make more impact in terms of research. Certainly we have our undergrad students participate in research, but it is a PhD program in particular, and some master's program where students will be able to contribute significantly toward research projects that faculty members perform. The second chart is showing the research expenditure. That's a measure of assessing how strong research is being done at an institution, at a college, at a school. So you can see there's an explosive growth over the years that the research expenditure being done at the School of Engineering and Computer Science here at Baylor. The last chart just shows the type of new programs that allows people to come in and be able to major upcoming or evolving discipline, in this case, data science class, data science major. It started a couple of years ago with a very small number of students. Today we have over 100 students in that major. So data science is another field that is growing fairly rapidly. Some facts about our students, and I won't go through each one of them here, but as you can see that our undergraduate, as you have surmised, that most of the students are full-time students, no adults, not much of adults. But we are very proud of having veterans in our students. I know Colonel Rodriguez is here, and we have military personnel that we are encouraging more of our veterans and families from veterans to attend our school. Female and male percentage is 24 to 76, compared to other schools at Baylor, where more than 50% are female students. We are the ones who are contributing toward maleness, if you will, at Baylor, with more male students at Baylor. Some of the highlights of our students. What you're seeing here is top left, we have twin brothers who graduated with computer science degree. I don't know, some of you might have seen this on the news. They are 17 years old with a bachelor's degree in computer science, and they graduated together. The one in the center is Jackson, who is a sophomore, who won the national award for Christian faith and social policy. One on the right are both our mechanical engineering students who have done a lot of work with SpaceX. So we talk about research. They have done the internship with SpaceX. And actually, Dylan Murphy was going to become a medical doctor, but because his internship at SpaceX was so mesmerizing for him that he became a full-time engineer. Now both of them are working as an engineer at SpaceX. We have people working on part of the research is making a difference in the world, as I mentioned. Bottom right, left is a Professor Garner working with a student to build a robotic force where it can be used as a tool for therapy for elderly folks to help them with their gaits, as well as younger folks with the disabilities. Lastly, one at the bottom left is a cybersecurity team competing with 500 other teams that rank number 15. What is not here is our build and fly team in mechanical engineering department. And what they do is they would build UAVs or unmanned aerial vehicles, and then they would compete nationally. And I'm proud to say for 2 years in a row, they were national champion of that competition. And that's the caliber of our students who are working in our school of engineering and science. Some of the companies that they go to work for, and I also have to brag about our students at their class. 96% of our graduates within 6 months land their professional jobs or graduate degree programs they will enter. The other 4% are not the ones that we cannot get the positions, but ones who go to the military as officers, ones who are starting their own companies, and then there are a few who travel the world because they can, or their family can. So we have 100% placement of our students, which should tell you that our programs are very well recognized by the industries, schools, universities, and others. So we're very proud of their work. We talked about research a bit, and research is important because, again, it not only makes an impact worldwide, but provides an opportunity for our students to practice research. One of the best ways to prepare our students for the future that is uncertain is helping them to learn how to solve problems. That's what the research is all about. There's no solution yet. There's no defined answers, but you figure out how to find those answers. And by doing so, as an undergrad, they'll be well prepared for their future job. And this shows the trend of the research work over the years. And last year, the total amount of research that was being done in terms of expenditure, we were 17% of the whole Baylor University. So we're proud of that fact, and we certainly want to increase that portion over the years. So what kind of research do? You may ask me, and here are the areas that we have as a focus area of research. There are 6 different areas that you see. First one has to do with materials and manufacturing, and that's very important as we go forward in the future. Anything that we think is important in terms of hardware, it has to do with materials, right? Your jet airplane has to do with materials. For defense industry, when you make tanks, when you make missiles, materials come into play. So we play a significant role in materials and manufacturing research, biological systems research, where one of our faculty members, Professor Alan Lang, who has used the skin of algae to create sensors that can detect toxins in waters or toxins in liquid, which is great work. His work was also recognized by NSF, National Science Foundation, last year. What they do is every year pick 3 to 5 breakthroughs of science, and his work was selected as one of the 5 in 2023. A lot of good news that we have from our school. Energy and power system is also very important because everything that we do requires some kind of energy. And that area of work we do quite a bit. Health and bioengineering is an area that we will be pursuing and making it stronger than we will be lost. Because again, that's a future that we need to build here at Baylor. Advanced computing, cyber physical systems, and cybersecurity is the 4th area that we are working on. And that area has to do with any type of robotics, any type of system that contains both software and hardware and multiple systems that all goes in there. The 5th one was wireless system and circuits, and we just started what's called Smart Hub at our school. Smart represents the spectrum management. Spectrum has to do with the bandwidth of wireless system that you use. Spectrum management using adaptable or repeatable technology. That's what SMART stands for. And that work has to do with how do we ensure as more and more devices become wireless and more systems and weaponry becomes a wireless system, how do you manage that bandwidth? Bandwidth is fixed, right? So given that bandwidth is fixed, how do you efficiently use it? If the bandwidth is jammed because of the adversary is going to make sure that you don't get your GPS signals, whatever it may be, how do you use them? And how do you ensure that our systems operate? And that's the hub that was created this year with 13 other institutions, with Baylor being the director and the center head of that endeavor. Congress has appropriated $5 million to start that process, and we think that that's going to continue to grow as well. And last and final one has to do with AI, machine learning, and information and data science. Of course, this is a very important area of research that many of our faculty members participate in doing so. I thought maybe I will give you a quick overview of maybe highlights of these different areas. First one has to do with materials and manufacturing, and it has to do with a center called PONI we have at the BRIC. And PONI is Point of Need Innovation. So their work is what happens if we are deployed in the mission where it becomes difficult to bring materials back from home, back from the base. What do you do right there at that point? So they're looking at ways to create, manufacture parts that will be able to be used at the point. And that will be very important for space exploration as well. It becomes difficult to bring things from the Earth. So they're working with NASA on a project on that as well. Energy and power. We have people working on what you're seeing on top left is electric cars. Of course, how do you make that efficient? How do you manage the batteries that you'll be able to do most mileage out of those batteries? What kind of batteries, materials can you make? So there's an overlap with that first area. But many of different ways to do the smart grid on the right. How can you use gas, methane, for example, ammonia, hydrogen, or you make them as the source of energy rather than, let's say, a traditional way of petroleum and gas. Those are some of the work that's being done. We talk about health and bioengineering. I talked about the robotic force that's on the top left there. Well, we have multiple people who are working on the implantable chips that you can use, and you can be able to use these chips to test and be able to work with the diseases and disease prevention. One example is that in electrical computer engineering, they have created a chip that can host a heart cell, and then what they do is that they would test those cells using multiple different medicines or testable medicines, test them to make sure that they are safe before it can be used in humans. So that's the kind of work that we're working on, and we plan to do more of that by partnering with College of Medicine in Houston, Baylor College of Medicine, Houston. Here is the cybersecurity and cyber-physical system computing. Has to do with drones. It is one way of looking at that, cyber-physical systems. But the major work that we're doing is the Central Texas Cyber Range, which started. It's being used for both dual use of research and workforce development to train cybersecurity personnel here in Central Texas and elsewhere. A couple more, and then I'll open up for questions. So wireless, I already talked about this. I'll skip this one. And then AI, machine learning, and data science. This is the future, of course, and you hear about AI all the time. One of the areas that we are working on is how do you use AI ethically, and how do you ensure that people who are developing these type of machines and systems are doing that with ethics behind and ethics underneath, so that it will not harm us, it will help us as we move forward. So I think that's the last one that I have. I hope I have given you snapshots of what we do in our education, in our programs, in our research, and the partnership with communities. I was told that you always like it when you have time to ask questions, so I will stop right here and ask any questions you may have. Yes, ma'am.
In which sector of the engineering school are you spending, I guess, a larger portion of your R&D money right now?
So where are we receiving the R&D money?
Yes.
So the biggest one that we're receiving currently is from DOD, followed by DOE, Energy, Department of Energy. And then NSF is the third biggest one. Industry funding, we are receiving not as big, but we have industry funding from, for example, Lockheed Martin is a company that is getting industry funding. And Verify, which is a company that we are also working very closely. Sir?
So with the onset of AI and everything else that we're hearing AI, buzzwords, Elon Musk has made a comment that it needs to be regulated. Because as you said, it needs to be safe. Just so that we don't have Skynet become self-aware. So is that something y'all are looking at, ways to control the AIs or safeguards put in place besides cable wires and the functioning?
Yes, so we're looking at how to ensure technically the mechanism to make it safe for the use of AI. One example could be as the system becomes more and more autonomous, how to ensure that these autonomous systems do not make fatal decisions without humans in the loop. That would be an example. There's a debate in the society. One has to do with without regulation, there will be more innovation. But without regulations, there could be lots of misuse. So there's people in two different schools that are engaged with this. Yes, sir.
Thank you for your comments, Dr. Pack, and welcome to Waco, Texas, by the way. My question pertains to internships and co-op programs. Been well received and across the country. How active is Baylor in that regard?
So we're very active in sending our students to internship. I don't have the number here with me, but anecdotally that I meet a lot of students in my school. I have not seen students, except freshmen, who did not participate in internship programs. So it's highly encouraged. We have a career center within our school that helps our students to find and identify those opportunities. And it's a crucial experience that they should have, whether they go to grad school or they go to industry. They're all participating very actively.
What are some of the fastest growing areas of engineering?
So the fastest growing department is computer science that contains data science, the program that I showed you. They have what's called bioinformatics. Underneath, we're creating cybersecurity major program. And then computer science as in general has been seeing a lot of growth. We also see some growth in mechanical engineering among engineering majors. And then there's a lot of interest in aerospace engineering that we will be planning to create a major in the near future. Sir?
Any plans to continue the study, or you guys do this right now, on airborne pathogens and ways to meet them, maybe with some new sciences that is, obviously it's going to continue to grow. Do you guys do anything with developing any new technologies that way?
Yeah, so that's the area that we need to grow, bioengineering. And the plan is creating a department of biological, biochemical, biomaterials, and bioenvironmental engineering, which will study that type of work. Currently, we do not have anybody who's working on the airborne area of that bioengineering, but we need to have somebody able. Thank you very much.
If you're like me, you probably didn't understand a lot of what he said, but trust me, we're going to have an opportunity in the next couple of weeks to have a social out at the Brick, and if you go to those labs, you'll be very, very impressed, both with the students and the faculty. I'm amazed every time. My husband is eligible to take me out there and to take a look at what they're doing. It's way beyond what I could imagine. And so look forward to that. We'll plan it one afternoon when the heavens come together and we can get it in alignment. And we appreciate that invitation, Dr. Pack. Our Rotaract Superstar has arrived, so I'd like Valerie to come up and give us an update.
Hi, I'm Valerie. I'm a junior at Baylor, and I'm a University Scholar studying business and chemistry with pre-med track. I'm starting Rotaract at Baylor, and just this week got approved to get into this group, so we're going to wait and see what can actually be a full charter. We're waiting to get members, and we have about 15 members so far, and so we should be able to get charter approved.
There's a lot of details and paperwork that I've been in the middle of between Valerie and our district governor. So she is going to be a superstar within our district. 5870, I believe this will be the only Rotaract club around. And so we hope that she can set a precedent for the other universities in Central Texas to start Rotaract clubs and spread Rotary for sure. I want to mention to you the college scholarship program. I think we sent out a notice that applications are available. And the reason why we need your help to spread the word is because the student has to be a resident of McLennan County. They can go to any school, any accredited school, I would suppose, but to be eligible for this Rotary scholarship, the way it was set up originally, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, a long time. The foundation that is created to have this scholarship, the one requirement is they have to be a student or a resident here in McLennan County. So if you have people you go to church with, neighbors, or anyone that has a student in college, please mention this, send them to the website, and they get the application. I think the deadline is going to be March the 29th. And that committee has a short meeting right after our Rotary meeting today. We'd like to again thank Dr. Pack for bringing the program. We want to thank Skylar and Andres and wish them good luck in their chosen fields of study. We know you'll be successful. We appreciate you coming to Rotary today. Our next meeting is March the 11th. We will have Dr. Dale McCall with WAMA. That is our literacy program this year. We are just about finished ordering all the books that he wanted. Believe it or not, I always think when we go to WAMA, they're going to want manuals on how to weld and construct and this and that. He wanted fiction. So these kids love to read. And he's got a plan to go with that. So you'll enjoy this program on March the 11th. We want to thank our fellow Rotarians from Lake Brazos. I hope some of you will consider their fundraiser. With that, please stand for the four-way test. Rotary